Hello everyone, it's Fun20 here and I am back with another video. Today I will be discussing once again the ZU metagame, and I know my last video I just released was talking about ZU, but the recent tier changes have just gone through and we finally got our tier shifts, and there was a lot of stuff that actually changed for the ZU metagame that I quickly want to talk about because it basically the whole metagame changed drastically due to the usage stats. So first, what I have here, I've listed here all the rises that occurred. So these are mons that were in CU that rose to PU as a result of the usage stats, and there was quite a few changes that occurred here, and for quite a few important Pokemon. So I want to start off to talk about Lycanroc. So Lycanroc rose, and when Lycanroc dropped, I think it was the last big tier shift it dropped. It quickly turned into one of the best setup supers in the metagame. Its sword stance set with the Lycanian, how do you pronounce? Yeah, its own Z move, Lycanium Z. With moves such as Sword Stance, Stone Edge, and good coverage in Drill Run, which basically let it hit most of the metagame for at least neutral damage. And coupled with priority in Accelerock and a decent speed tier with good power, and we had one of the best setup sweepers for offense to utilize in the metagame, and I was also really good against offense since it had that great speed tier and that priority, and there wasn't many really good Scarfers that could come in and revenge kill it, because let's say an example, a common Choice Scarfer would be Choice Scarfer on Frost. Well, that's weak to Accelerock, so at +2 that thing's just going down, so it couldn't really revenge kill it reliably. Of course you have other stuff like Monferno that can take a hit, but if Lycanroc is able to get that +2 off with the Sword Stance, and if Monferno is chipped even quite a bit, it can fail to check it due to the priority. The Z move just really let it break through defensive counters. Even Torterra, one of the bulkiest mons in the tier that resisted its rock stat, could actually go down to a +2 Stone Edge, the Z Stone Edge, whatever it's called, just with some chip damage prior. So yeah, I'm quite glad that Lycanroc left. I felt it was kind of an overbearing presence in the game. Because it was just one of the best setup sweepers, and it was really hard to counter. So I'm not sad that it went, and yeah, so that's Lycanroc. Next big drop, big rise, excuse me, I want to talk about is Torterra. Now Torterra, if you watch my previous video, I talked about it quite a bit. It was one of the best blue mons in the metagame. Acted as a reliable stealth rocker, setup sweeper with sword stance, rock polish, or the combination of the two, and just general bulky tank mon that would never die thanks to synthesis, and hit hard with stats such as wood hammer and earthquake. It had well-rounded stats, a pretty good defensive typing. It did lose to some of the most common Pokemon in the metagame, such as Frost and Combuskin and Shadow and stuff like that. But still, it held its place. It kind of was a mon that kind of glued the tier together. So, in a sense, I'm quite sad that it went, since it was so splashable and was just great at keeping Stealth Rocks up. So, this is definitely a big change in regards to rises and stuff in terms of how it would impact the overall tier. I definitely think that Torterra kind of held a lot of bulky offensive teams together. So yeah, that's Torterra Rising. Next we have Liepard. Liepard was kind of was a good mon for offense, with either its choice band set or utility sets that were used on, let's say, rain teams, with Rain Dance, Prankster Rain Dance, or just straight up, like I mentioned previously, choice band with moves such as Knock Off, Play Rough. It still hit quite hard. It was quite fast, and even sets such as Nasty Plot as well were quite good with Copycat. It was a great disrupting mon. Definitely a big threat that I feel defensive teams would appreciate it leaving, because it with moves such as Encore and Copycat, it was really able to screw over quite a few defensive mons. Rain teams definitely took a hit as well. Rain was quite popular with Liepard around, since it could set up Rain Dance quite reliably and just pivot out with U-turn and Prankster and stuff like that. So it was definitely, I definitely feel it's going to be quite a big change of it leaving. I think psychic types such as Grumpig and Kandabra might get a bit better, since they could kind of spam their psychic type stab moves a bit more, I guess, in a sense. So yeah, that's that. Another change that kind of hit Ring Thieves is the leaving of the departure of Polyrath. Polyrath was not one of the best mons in the metagame, but it was quite good. It has well-rounded stats, could run either physical or special sets quite well. Most notably, a set that was rising in popularity was its Belly Drum Z-move set, which was quite threatening if it was able to get the setup boost off. Like I mentioned previously, could be used on Rain as well as a Swift Sweeper. And it checked quite a few popular threats such as Monferno, Rotom Frost in a sense, since it resists the Blizzard. Checked stuff like Lipard as well, even Lycanroc, to an extent, right? But it was quite a good mon. Also, just like a general good offensive tank. That definitely feel like fire types such as Combustion and Monferno appreciated leaving. So yeah, that's that. Definitely has an impact on the metagame, it leaving. Next we have Probopass, and it's quite surprising for me to see it rise. I wasn't expecting it due to my little knowledge of PU. I don't really see it that often, but I guess it rose due to its niche as a Magnical Trapper, and in ZU it kind of held that niche as well, where it could trap steel types such as Mawile and Metang, and kind of hopefully with a prior trick damage take them out with coverage moves such as Earth Power or HP Hidden Power Fire. It was quite a decent Stealth Rock user since it had Taunt and access to pivoting and Volt Switch. Its typing also let it check threats such as Chatot and Kadabra, but also left it weak to other popular threats such as Silvally Water and Inferno. So yeah, it was quite surprising to see it leave. I don't think it's going to impact the metagame too much, but it was a decent Stealth Rock user again, so yeah. Next, we probably have the biggest impact on Stall. Pyukumuku leaving, I think, kind of kills Stall as a playstyle. It was the best underwear user in the metagame. Well, I think the only one actually, unless you want to consider stuff like Wooper and Zubat. But yeah, it checked setup sweepers such as Lycanroc, such as Monferno, Combuskin, even special setup sweepers like Lipard, although it was annoyed by Encore. It was just, a great setup check for defensive teams, and I definitely feel some may be quite usable with stuff like Ditto and Shedinja to check setup, but definitely Pyukumuku I found held that archetype together due to its great defensive utility, so it leaving definitely has an impact, I find. It even could have been run on certain balanced teams that just needed a general sponge, hint hint, pun intended. So I definitely feel it does have an impact of it leaving, so yeah. Next up, Midnight Trick, and quite surprising as well to see this rise in PU. I don't quite see it as often, but anyways, it was a decent, just offensive pivot with stuff like Volt Switch, and it had good coverage and Flamethrower that let it hit grass types such as Tangela and Silvally Grass, alongside coverage like Hidden Power Ice. It was a decent, it hit quite hard and it was quite fast. It wasn't the best offensive pivots, but it did have some utility in the ZU metagame, so I think it does have some impact, but I think it could be easily replaceable with stuff like Raichu and stuff like that, so I don't think it has much of an impact, but yeah, definitely a loss for offense. Next we have Gramble, again, another mon. I'm quite surprised to see it leave. I don't see it as PU at all when I ladder, but anyways, it was a nice kind of, again, like a bulky tank in a sense with Intimidate, and it's great defensive typing and decent bulk. It kind of replaced Silvally Fairy when it departed as just like a general defensive pivot, but obviously it didn't have access to pivoting moves such as Party Shot Mewtwo as Silvally Fairy, but still, it did have utility in Heal Bell, Thunder Wave, alongside decent coverage like Fire Punch. I think, wait, is it Fire Punch? Anyways, I know it has access to fire coverage, yeah, Fire Fang, whatever, Fire Blast, yeah. alongside stuff like Earthquake to let it hit steel and poison types. So I usually used to run its choice band set. It hit really hard with that great attacking stat. But I think at the current moment, I'm gonna discuss another mon that's gonna would have probably outclassed it as just like a general physically offensive wall breaker, slow wall breaker, because that was one of its issues. It's really slow. So yeah, it's not a too common of a mon, but yeah, I'm looking sad to see a fairy type leave because we don't have many fairy types in general in the current metagame. So yeah. And the last two I'll just go over briefly because they're probably going to drop back down. Oh no, not Stalin. Sorry, Stalin. I already left last year. Shit. Yeah, that one was quite something. Anyway, sorry, just Sandslash. Sandslash leaving. That's due to the presence of Gigalith at the time when it was NU. Sand was crazy, but then Gigalith got banned. So Sandslash, I think it just rose just because of that recent Spurgeon usage, thanks to the presence of Gigalith Sand. But I think it's going to drop that back down, and if it does, it acts as like a kind of okay-ish setup sweeper with Swords Dance. You know, it has access to coverage like Stone Edge and even utility in Rapid Spin, but it kind of just gets outclassed, I find, by a Lowland Duck Trio as like an offensive ground type, really, or even as a stealth duck setter by stuff like Gabite. You know, I find that those mons kind of outclass in a sense, so I don't find it has too much of a current impact of it leaving, and I think it's just gonna drop back down next tier shift thanks to Gigalith being banned. So these are the drops. And next I want to talk about, sorry, those were the rises. Now I want to talk about the drops. These are Pokemon that came down and joined this year metagame. So first off, I want to talk about the first two that I think will have the most impact. And the first one I want to talk about is Ursaring. Now Ursaring is quite a scary threat that I'm quite surprised actually dropped down. It is probably one of the best physical wall breakers that we currently have with either its guts or quick feet sets that boost status. So it could either run, let's say, Toxic Orb if it's going for Quick Feet, or Flame Orb if it wants to run Guts, and this boosts its Stab and Facade, which hits incredibly hard, even unboosted. Just a crazy stab move, and it has access to coverage such as Earthquake, Crunch, Cross Chop, Play Rough that lets it hit the Pokemon that resist its normal type stab, and plus it has access to Swords Dance, so it could boost its attack even higher, which it definitely doesn't need to, because look, already 359 unboosted without a positive nature in its attack stat. The only issue I do see it have, it's quite slow, especially when considering if it's running its gut set. Quick feet sets can outspeed quite a number of threats, but still it could be checked by most choice scarf users and even fast threats in general. Because I think it only outspeeds, I'm not sure, base 110 and above with quick feet. I have to double check. Unboosted. So yeah, but it still has the bulk even to take hits, even if it's running guts, you know, so it's not that big of an issue. It's still quite hard to revenge kill it. I definitely feel this mon should be banned. It's just too strong. It wrecks defensive teams. Defensive teams right now don't really have an answer to it, especially with Pikachu leaving. So yeah, I definitely feel this mon is too strong and should be banned. Next mon I want to talk about is yet another physical sweeper in Kabutops. Again, quite surprised to see this leave. And I definitely feel this is quite a mon that's too strong for the current metagame as well. Usually what the set I've been seeing is Rocky MZ with weak armor, Swords Dance, Stone Edge, Liquidation, and even has access to Aqua Jet and utility options such as Rapid Spin. It doesn't get Earthquake, but it has Knockoff, you know, some utility to bypass its counters. Yet again, Kabutops is just too strong. I find 115 attack is quite good. 80 speed is not the best. I mean, there are mons that outspeed it, but when you factor in its ability in weak armor, it could come in on moves such as U-turn and even Knockoff if it's running the Z move. Get that speed boost, get a Sword Sense, and usually it's a GG from that point because Kabutops could just destroy most threats at +2 and bypass counters with the Z move such as Tangela, because I believe Z Stonage KOs at full at +2. So yeah, just a great, even on rain, it's a great sweeper. You know, under the rain, you know, has this water type stab, moves boosted, and it hits quite hard. So I definitely feel Kabutops should go as well. It's even hard to check offensively thanks to the priority, as I mentioned previously, in Aquajet. So yeah, definitely another setup sweeper that I feel could be banned. Next we have Kecleon, which is yet again another physical attacker. That's quite good in the current metagame. The most popular set right now is probably the Software set with Protein, and the reason why it's so good because its coverage is quite good. So we have stuff like Knockoff, Dream Touch, and Dual Priority. Usually is what I see with either Fake Out or Shadow Sneak alongside Sucker Punch. And it's quite good because even though it's like really slow, you know, it just acts as a great special sponge a la Bouffalant, you know, that just soaks up special hits due to the Assault Vest and could just fire off incredibly hard hits thanks to Protein. It gets stabbed on all its moves. And when you factor in the moves I mentioned previously, such as Knockoff and Dream Punch, it hits hella hard and it could disrupt the opposing team quite well. I don't find it too overpowering, but it's definitely a really good mon that could kind of take Bouffalant's role in certain teams as like a special sponge, check a bunch of special attackers such as Rolling Frost, Rampage, Shadow to an extent. So yeah, I definitely feel it's quite good. The last mon that I want to talk about is Abomastar. I haven't used it too much myself. I have been seeing it more and more. The usual set I do see is either his Choice Scarf set or Mixed Life Orb set because it does have access to great mixed offensive stats. Alongside a good move pool consisting of stats such as Blizzard, Wood Hammer, Earthquake, Focus Blast. Like it really has quite a good offensive move pool that lets it break through a lot of threats. It even has access to stuff such as Sword Stance. So it's quite versatile in terms of an offensive mon, and it hits quite hard, especially when factoring the chip damage from the hail that it summons. The only issue it has is it's really bad defensive typing, like Grass Ice is weak to a bunch of stuff, let alone having a Stealth Rock weakness. And it's low speed. Even with a Choice Scarf, it gets checked by some offensive mons unboosted. So those are the only really things holding it back. But besides that, it's like acts as a great just mixed offensive threats, and definitely feel it has some value in the current metagame. So besides that, in general, I don't really like these tier shifts that much because even though there's certain annoying mons that, such as Lycanroc and let's say Liepard, that I do like leaving in a sense. We did lose quite a few good mons such as Torterra, Poliwrath, and Pikachu that were great, just like sponges that kind of held glue mons that kind of glue the tier together. So, and we got like busted ass mons such as Ursaring Kabutops, which you know they are getting suspect tested now. So I do feel they should be banned. But besides that, it was quite an interesting shift. I definitely look forward to seeing how the metagame will develop after these two mons go. But yeah, leave your comments down below on what's your thoughts on the new Zeo metagame. And in general, just leave comments on what videos you guys want to see next. I know I'm talking about Zeo a lot, but I just want to get this video out of the way since the drops just happened. So yeah, leave a like, subscribe, and share if you enjoyed. I think I appreciate it so much, and hopefully more content could come out sooner with some collaborations in the works. So thank you guys for watching and stay tuned.